What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Nomadic King channel. I'm James Showers, cleanest name in the biz, and today taking a look at my boots. Let me flip you around. We'll take a look at them right now as I'm wearing them, and then when I get home we'll take a little deep dive. Are you ready for that? Let's go. Alright, bam, here we are. This is what, like 3 weeks, maybe a month. They were looking pretty new just a little bit ago. Now they're all, beat up and destroyed. Got my Duluth company Alaska hard gear pants on. Looks real slick with this leather. We've got our 2-stitch double cap. Got a hefty heel right here. And we've got a 2-inch heel, We're just taking a quick look back at what the boots look like when I got them back from Nick's Boots. Look at that, nice and clean and smooth, ready to get dirty. Alright, let's dive into this. Alright, welcome to the Lockdown Corner. I'm joined with Cuddles today. We're going to be taking a look at these boots and judging them from top to bottom. These have been rebuilt by Nick's Boots. I had them first originally built by Nick's Boots, and then I sent them there to be rebuilt, or actually resold, and they offered me a resole for the price of a rebuild, and I just couldn't turn it down. Now, with that said, I'm not sponsored by Nick's Boots. I'm not obligated to say they're good or bad or any of that. I get paid nothing from these guys or Frank's or any of the products that I talk about on my channel. I do have a slight, not exact issue with these boots, but something I'm going to be talking about that is may come off as negative or a downside at first, and we'll talk about it and talk about how I feel about it later on in this video. With that being said, I haven't contacted anybody at Nick's Boots and told them about it. I haven't asked to have these sent back, so I'm not dissatisfied with my experience in the rebuild so far. But we will be talking about a few things, and we'll jump right into it right now. Later in the video, we're going to take a closer look at the wear and tear of these boots over last month. But when I got these, I felt that they looked like a little choked up, and maybe that's just because they didn't look exactly like the boots I had sent back to Nick's Boots. And then once I started wearing them, because one day I wore the Franks and then one day I wore the Nicks, the Nicks felt really tight. Now, I had talked to Grant on the phone. That's the manager of Nick's Boots, and we talked about my original boots feeling a little bit too big and whether or not maybe I should have them resized and brought down a little bit smaller. I said no, because I feel like I wore into them. They felt pretty good. Now I have two theories. One is that they decided, hey, we're going to go ahead and make these a little bit smaller after maybe they tore the other boots apart and saw where my foot actually sat, and they made these a little smaller. Or the second theory is the timeline to actually have these rebuilt. It was easier to put them on a boot that was already made, and there happened to be one that was a little bit smaller. Now, both those are just theories. I don't know exactly what happened, but at the same time, when I first ordered these boots, I'd ordered them in a rough out, and they were delivered smooth. And I, at that point, thought that they were, I felt like that was a mistake or a flaw. But as I wore these boots over time, I found that I actually really enjoyed the smooth, and I'm actually pretty happy I went with the smooth. And then when I sent these back, I had the option of changing these to rough out, and I opted to continue to keep the smooth. So I also thought maybe me thinking that these being smaller was some sort of disadvantage may play out to be an advantage later on, as where once my foot settles into the stacks of leather, that it will be the most perfect fit I've had. Now, me saying that these things are kind of tight, I do need to tell you that, maybe my toenails need to be clipped just a little bit. So it is a snug fit, something you're not going to be able to exactly curl your toes in, but it's not smashing my foot. I do have a little bit of callus that's wearing up on the sides of my toes and whatnot, but that just comes with the territory of having steel toe in there. It's, all of the ones I've ever had have normally rub. And we haven't just done a resole, we actually did a whole rebuild. So I'm re-breaking in all this leather. It's still stiff, it's not as pliable as the older boot. So at this point, like what I said, what seems to might be a negative, I feel like is a positive, because when I first kind of was like, oh man, these are tight. I was wondering, am I going to need to send them back, or what am I going to do? But I was able to make it every day, switching them back and forth. It's not unbearable, and it's not to the point where it's so tight that it's not the right fit. This may just be the most perfect fit. They might have nailed it either out of an accident, or just, hey, we're going to take this leap of faith and, make these a little bit smaller because we think that would be the perfect fit after looking at the sole that they took apart and yada, yada, yada. All right, we're going to ask myself a few questions about these boots, maybe questions you might be asking. So, do I like these boots? Yes, I do like these boots. They are fitting well. I like the way the leather looks. I like the way the boot looks. I thought they looked a little choked up at first, but I feel like maybe it's smaller with the same, upper, and maybe it kind of sat on there a little different. But the overall look to this boot looks real nice, and we'll get into that in a little bit. We'll do a little close up, and you guys can take a look for yourself. Next question: how do they feel? All right, these actually feel pretty good. They're snug. They're still breaking in, obviously, so that's a little rough. Compared to the Franks have already been broken in for the leather, and they just got a resole. This is almost like breaking in a new boot. Last question: will I keep these clean? I'm going to do a lot better job keeping these clean. I've learned a lot about boots since I first bought this pair of Nick's boots. As of right now, I obviously haven't cleaned them or wiped them down for the sake of this video, for one, but to be honest, I'm kind of lazy when it comes to doing that. So I will be cleaning these. I will be polishing up these tops. I do have some polish that Grant sent out with these boots to let me finish out the top and make them look 100%. So we will do a clean video on that, and then we'll do a clean video on the Franks later. Comment if you're interested in a clean video on either one of these boots that I've gotten back. And yeah, that's basically it for the overall review on these boots. I love these. They're comfortable. I enjoy wearing each of the boots that I have every day. I feel like they both serve their own little purpose. We'll discuss later on, as time goes on, whether or not having them a little bit smaller was the best choice or not. But worst case scenario, you can always rebuild them. And like I said, I have not brought that problem up to anybody. Grant does watch these videos, so now he probably knows. Hey Grant, if you're still watching. But for the most part, it's not a complaint for me to call him with right now. It's just kind of a, wow, these are a little bit smaller, and I want to see if that's going to be the actual perfect fit. Maybe that's something you want to take into consideration if you're getting your boots. Maybe you do want them a little more snug because they'll loosen up over time. So without further ado, we're going to get close up. We're going to look at all the dirt, and we're going to check them out. Leave a like if you're about ready to dip out, and subscribe if you feel like it, I guess. Other than that, let's check out these boots. All right, here it is. This is the left one. As you can see, we got quite a bit of drywall dust already built up. It's looking pretty good. Do have the fire rated sole here, and I have collected quite a bit of screws. I've pulled these ones out, but these soles definitely pick up framing screws on the job quite a bit. Not too many people mention the heel, but I do get a couple jokes once in a while having this bigger heel. You know, I do like the heel because it gives me some pretty good back support, but you can opt to get a wedge sole and have something a little bit more flat. That's not a scuff, or that's just a scuff. It's not a nick. But I do think we do have a nick in one of the boots here. And there we go. That's pretty much the wear and tear. You can see this is the old leather, and it's all, you know, rough and old. And we will do a polish on that. I believe this is all old leather too. Cool. These heels are pretty stiff still. Get you focused in there. These are pretty stiff, just like the other ones were. They're looking pretty good. All around good boot. Take a look inside. There we go. It's not bad. That's where I like to keep the laces inside the boots. Here's the right boot. Looks a little dirtier on the top for whatever reason. Right around there. You can hear my birds chewing stuff in the background. Hopefully that's not a big deal for you. If you want another bird video, let me know in the comments. See, I think I hit, yeah, right here, this. I was kicking something and I peeled a little bit. Now, I've never had this even wear through on the other ones. The other cap was still good. So, and the other thing I like about them being a little bit smaller is my old ones actually kind of look like clown shoes. Had a bigger round. This looks like a low profile something. Whatever they did, it actually looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like it the way it is right now. And then we will get to the Frank's boots in another episode. Look how dry that is. Wow. Let me know. You want me to clean these? We'll get them clean. There's the Knicks logo. This camera is not doing the focus very well, is it? And that's pretty much it. Take a look inside this one. Basically the same. That's it. Peace. Pretty cool. A little different design. Now these were the Homesteaders. Whether or not they are on that same last now, I don't know, because I don't think they make that boot. These things feel pretty stout. That's cool. I'm glad I got the fire rated one. I forgot about that. I definitely have to say thanks, Grant, for hooking me up with this rebuild. I really appreciate it.